After Andre effortlessly defeated the Apostle of Conquest, the system awarded Suho with a ton of experience as a thank you for completing another vessel. But Suho no longer cared about the arbitrary levels and numbers, as these were just an indicator to the system used to inform Suho of his existence. A tool created to calculate how much his rank had risen. So who was judging his rank? For a long time, Suho wondered who this entity was. It wasn't until he started the class change quest that he finally realized who this entity was. He looked at his unknown skill, then stared back at the entity gazing at him. Like the other times he encountered the monarchs, time stopped. The whole room turned white, and he was face to face with a mysterious person. It was there that Suho realized that the shadow of the World Tree was watching him. Although Suho had encountered the World Tree at this point many times before, this time was entirely different. Because now he was meeting the opposite side. The white shadow filling his entire vision was the vast shadow of the World Tree. A white shadow being mirroring Suho's figure offered him a greeting. Suho asked the shadow if it were the World Tree, but it denied Suho's suggestion, informing him that the World Tree is dead and has been withering away since the death of its creator. It introduces itself as the flow of souls left behind by the World Tree. It continues to explain that the World Tree is the origin of the universe, a tool made to recycle dead souls into living beings. But since it's dead, life forms can no longer be born. At first, it began with the soldiers of the rulers, who are winged angelic beings created from the fruits of the World Tree. But with no one to harvest and take care of the tree, it lost its function to create life forms like humans, and eventually no new children will be born. And all living beings would gradually age and die. Even now, their universe possesses more dead souls than living, and that number will only increase over time. This is the outcome of a universe without a god. However, thankfully, there's a way to preserve life. Using the power of the Shadow Monarch, Sung Jinwoo, he could raise and revive all the souls of their universe, ultimately transforming their world into the dimension of death. There would be no new births, but there will be eternal life, since death itself is eternal. A new beginning and end. But knowing his father, Suho knew that his father would oppose that option. Like Suho, the shadow also knew Jinwoo would likely deny this option due to his deep love and respect for life. That's why it came up with another option pointing at itself. However, it wasn't implying that Suho should revive the white shadow itself, since if that were truly that simple, it would have approached Jinwoo, the Shadow Monarch himself. Without talking, the white shadow instilled knowledge within Suho about the World Tree and its function. It explains that the shadow of the World Tree is a spiritual universe that contains a great flow and passage of souls, extending far throughout the universe. Since the purpose of the World Tree is to recycle dead souls to create new living beings, therefore they cannot defy death. That's why Jinwoo cannot truly help the white shadow, because Jinwoo can only revive dead souls and not create them into entirely new living beings. All his shadows are bound by death. The World Tree desperately extended its shadow to find someone capable of allowing the souls to be reborn. Someone qualified, and luckily it found Suho. It was a risk, but Suho seemed to be the closest option it could think of. The shadow took that risk and decided to help grow and develop Suho, even using the system to help him. Understanding, Suho asked the white shadow if he had grown into a vessel capable of helping them. But the shadow answered his question with a question of its own. Putting aside the fate of both the universe and the World Tree, it asked Suho what fruit it wished to bear. What kind of existence does Suho wish to become? It assures Suho that the continuation and circulation of the universe is the job of the World Tree. It's simply its shadow. So regardless of what Suho decides to do, it'll be fine with it. It simply wanted to know Suho's intention, because to the shadow, Suho meant everything to it. Suho, the son of the Shadow Monarch. A new life born from the literal embodiment of death. Suho possessed the qualities of both life and death, exact opposing attributes. To the White Shadow, Suho was its best bet at the revival of the World Tree and the continuation of the universe. An existence born solely to find Suho, the Shadow of the World Tree smiles at Suho and reintroduces himself as the irregular White Shadow.